Well, as all the YouTubers gear up to tell you what the best programming languages of 2020 are, I thought I'd make a video telling you what I'm planning on learning next year as far as technology goes. This is not a recommendation, and the vibe is that PHP and JavaScript with MySQL are the centre of the universe as far as I'm concerned. Show me somebody who is good with PHP, JavaScript and MySQL. Show me somebody who can build stuff with those three things, and I will show you somebody who can build anything on any platform. So nothing has changed in that regard. That's what you should learn. It's PHP and JavaScript all the way as far as I'm concerned. Now, it just so happens that I've been doing this since 1996, and after 20 odd years, a little change sometimes feels like a good thing. So let me tell you the things that I'm going to be learning next year. I am in no way recommending them, and I'm not even saying that they're going to be the next big thing or anything like that. This is just what I'm going to be focusing on learning, although my focus will always be PHP and JavaScript, if you know what I mean. So here we go. First up is going to be Swift. Now, I know that there are a lot of developers who have basically closed the book on Swift. Steph Mischuk, for example, and I respect him. Many of his predictions have come to pass. And I know that there's a sentiment of, well, Apple are, going down the tubes. They cannot even make a decent keyboard, right? They charged $1,000 for a monitor stand recently. I get all of that, and I accept all of it. The thing is, Apple's not going anywhere. They've recently came out with a new laptop, and the reviews are all positive. They appear to have sorted out many of the issues that they had. In fact, I think they've sorted out all of them. Their keyboards are now back to being good. I believe that the new Mac Pros have sorted out their overheating challenges. And if you go check out any of the tech reviewers on YouTube that are talking about this stuff, they're all giving Apple glowing reports. So for better or for worse, I don't think Apple is going to go anywhere. Now, last month, there was something that happened that was kind of shocking. Electron apps stopped being accepted on the Apple App Store. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happened. It's probably been resolved and everything is fine, but there was maybe about 7 days where there was a lot of concern in the Electron community, And what became clear to me is that Apple own the App Store, they own the operating system, and they even own the hardware. And whether we like it or not, Apple at any moment, they can pull the plug on Electron, on React Native, on Flutter, on anything they want, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Now, somebody said, but that wouldn't be in their interest. Well, I disagree. I think it would be. I think it would be entirely in Apple's interest to just pull the plug on a technology that's just standing in its way. Now, has Apple done that before? Well, absolutely. Don't you remember Flash? Don't you remember Steve Jobs? Apple has a history of pulling the plug on technologies that stand in its way. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I don't want to cause any concern or any alarm. I've already done that in a video, and it's embarrassing, and I don't want to do that. However, I take the viewpoint that there's a couple of things. I'm kind of a conservative developer. I don't want to gamble, I don't want to learn something and then a few months down the line find out that it's getting shut down or something like that, And I think that to go all in with something like Electron, for example, is a dodgy strategy. I would even say the same for Flutter, because I think that there is a potential, that's all I'm saying, a potential for some kind of future tech war. And if that ever does happen, then as far as the Apple Store goes, Swift is going to win and everything else is going to get kicked out. And by the way, Swift has incredible benchmarks and it looks kind of easy to learn as well. So I'm looking forward to tuning into Swift That's my first choice. My second choice is going to surprise some of you folks as well. My second choice is going to be this, and I'll show you the exact course. It's going to be this guy here who looks like he's came straight out of a time machine from 1981 or something, and it's going to be the C programming language. Bless this dude, I'm going to buy his course, by the way. But it's the C programming language, and I've put a lot of thought into this. Now, why on earth would you want to learn C? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, on a personal level, I am a kind of a no bullshit developer. I hate pointless rewrites. I don't want to look at new versions. I don't care about the conference, and I don't want an email in the middle of the night telling me that I need to rewrite everything again, you know? And I think that the development community in general is just losing the plot with rewrites. And I'm not into that moving target stuff. I want something that's solid. Learn it once and use it for a lifetime. The C language has hardly changed in 40 years, folks. How's that for stability, right? And it's up there as being, well, some people say it's joint fastest with C++. Who knows? But the key thing is it's not going to go anywhere. You can build anything you want with it. And why C instead of C++, by the way? Well, C++ is object-oriented. There's nothing wrong with that. But I made a series on YouTube about a month ago. I haven't uploaded it, where I built a to-do list, and I did it with functional programming, object-oriented, and procedural. And guess what? Procedural was the fastest. So I'm all for trying this out, and if all goes well, this is the technology that I'll be using for the Trongate desktop app. It's the C language. By the way, do you know that PHP was made using the C language? So if you check out the syntax for the C programming language in PHP, you'll see a lot of similarities. I think PHP developers will be right at home with C, and I'm looking forward to tuning into that. My final choice for next year is not a programming language actually, it's going to be AdWords. The reason I'm going to be going for AdWords is because I've noticed over the past few years that a lot of clients are going in really heavy with AdWords. It's completely normal for even medium-sized businesses to spend over $1,000 per day on AdWords. And quite frankly, I think a lot of them are being ripped off. I think there's a lot of dodgy AdWords companies out there that just set up the account and then charge, you know, X per month. And I think that if somebody were to go into that marketplace with perhaps a little bit of integrity and maybe build something that could do some cool stuff, then I think it would be cool and you could maybe have a positive impact, you know? So I'm going to be, believe it or not, focusing on AdWords next year. It's going to be one of my things, and I probably won't mention it again, but now you know. So that's going to be 3 things that I'm focusing on next year. I'm not in any way saying that you should follow me. I'm not saying that that's better than what you're doing or anything like that. It's just letting you know what I'm going to be focusing on. So once again, I'm going to be placing my bets with Swift, with C, and with AdWords. That's the 3 things. Let me know what you're planning on learning next year in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.